Hey there, YouTube. This is a video about a recent trip that I went on to the Mount Rainier National Park area, specifically Packwood, in Washington State. This was a trip for kind of a joint bachelorette party that I went to with my partner. And one of the days that we were down there, we went into the national park for a day hike up to Shriner Peak, which is a really nice, not too long, but gets you some elevation up into a nice alpine area of the park, where there's a fire lookout an old fire lookout at the very top. And so, because there's a fire lookout, there's great opportunities to see, have awesome views of the mountain. So I thought this would be a good situation to take some landscape photography. I brought my f1 and a wide angle lens, and we went up there. We were thinking that the smoke was actually going to clear because the day before wasn't too bad, but the day of the wildfires just really kicked up. It was hot and windy. There were a bunch of small localized fires in the park, and the haze was really bad. Obviously, we still went on the hike, and I still took a lot of pictures, and I did have to rethink taking only landscape photography pictures. I took a lot of other images as well because I had a feeling that the landscapes wouldn't really turn out. But I was really curious to see how the pictures would turn out. And so I thought it would be fun to just, for other photographers on the West Coast that are considering going outside and taking pictures when it's really hazy and when wildfires are really active, kind of what you would be looking at. So let's look at some of these pictures. This first group of pictures was shot with, this was a Fomapan 400 developed in Caffenol. So let's see if I can get these. There we go. So this first image is the fire lookout, and you can see my partner kind of walking out there, and that sky is just washed out. Everything in these pictures, everything that's nearby looks great, nice and contrasty, but you're not going to see any detail in the background. So I ended up taking a lot of close-up pictures. This is a nice, gosh, it's not bear grass. It's I can't remember the name of this flower right now, but it's got this great woolly seed head. So when you can't take landscape pictures, you gotta get more creative. Here's another kind of plant picture. Let's see if I can find one with some, here's a close-up of a rock face with some kind of plants growing around it. When it's hazy like this, you gotta get creative. Here's on the trail, my partner mimicking this nice craggly root ball. But let's look at some more landscapes. So here's another shot of the fire shelter. These next pictures were actually shot on a APX 400 that had been pushed to 800. So these are going to be pretty grainy. But again, the fire shelter looks great, but there's really nothing behind it. This is a picture. We're up on that fire shelter, and in real time you could see some more detail, but just the way the film resolves the background is just washed out and white, and it kind of looks cool, but if your goal is to get details, just to see different layers of peaks and and gradations in the sky. You're not going to get it in this kind of wildfire haze. You know, here's a picture that I think turned out pretty well, and you know, you can just see like a little bit of the background right in there, and it's white. Show you, you know, there's just, you can barely even see the wall of trees, and then above that it's just grayed out and hazy. Here's a funny one. You know, there's the mountain. There's like no detail in it. It would have been nice if it was clear out, but honestly, I think the haze kind of made some of these pictures give them more of a minimalist, kind of stark, moody appearance. And I like the way some of these turned out, but you know, not great for landscape photography. That's for sure. Yeah, you know, so you get more focused on your subject and some close-up work, and you take less pictures of the landscapes when the conditions aren't right. So, you know, as far as a photography trip was concerned, I think I got some good images out of it. Certainly not many usable landscapes. You know, so for those of you that are out on the West Coast, living in this horrible, hazy wildfire apocalypse that we're living in right now, that haze is really gonna affect your images. You're not gonna get, you know, crystal clear, beautiful, Ansel Adams-esque landscapes, but you know, you might be able to use that effect to make more of a minimalist composition, something maybe more moody and stark. But it's something to think about. Here in Western Washington, it has we've really been hit hard, and it's been something to deal with. So I was interested to really see the results of the pictures from this trip, and hopefully you've enjoyed them. Yeah, I think that's really all I want to say. Thanks for checking this out. Bye.